On the day that my husband and I left Paris to travel into Germany, we nearly missed our train. No exaggeration here, less than 2 minutes after boarding our train, it left the station. Yikes, right? That pesky little thing called time management didn't handle it super well that particular day. I'm working on it. And then once we got to Germany, we had another slight hitch in travel plans. So the first time we visited Germany, we used a company called Sixt to rent a vehicle. We did the same thing this time. Now, we were about an hour and 20 minutes late. However, we had already paid and booked for our car about 2 weeks in advance. However, I don't know if it was just this particular location. At the hour mark, they had let the car that we had booked go. Somebody else had rented it and kind of said that, sorry, is that even legal? I'm not sure. In any case, we had to kind of search around for another place, and in the end, we did go with Sixt, but at a different location, and there's a few things that we learned through all of this. One, if you are going to be late in picking up your car, if you can change it online, do so. If you can't, try and call in to let them know that you're going to be late. There's that. The second thing is that, for whatever reason, if we were to book a car just at the Sixt counter, it would have cost more. So I kid you not, in this tiny little waiting area, my husband and I sat down in front of the person that was helping us, booked the car online, and by doing so, we saved over 200 euros. I don't even know. All's well that ends well, and at least we got a car, and that's exactly what we needed. So that happened. Ah, boy. And I will say that later on, it was a little bit of a hassle trying to get a refund for the first car that was canceled, and meh. Fun times. Moving on. So, unlike our daily adventures that we had while we were in Paris, a little bit over a week that we spent in Germany was much more slow-paced because predominantly my husband and I were just spending time with some in-laws, some extended family. And I even met some other in-laws that I had never met before, a cousin of my husband and her family. We had lunch with them, also with another cousin of my husband. He's got a big extended family. And then after lunch, they took us to a family-run farm that also runs a successful and very tasty bakery business. Yeah, that made sense. And we just spent a few hours chatting, and it was just a really lovely time. Now, about halfway through our trip, my husband and I unfortunately fell ill, although thankfully we did not get the family that we were staying with, they did not get sick. So that's good. That's good. And even during this downward spiral of our health, my husband and I did manage to go to 3 different places. 2 of those places happened to be in Ludwigsburg, something like that, very close. We went to see the palace that is there. Now, the only way that you can explore inside the palace is if it's with a tour. And as far as I remember, there's 2 separate tours. You can see the Queen's Wing or the King's Wing. We saw the Queen's Wing. They give tours in both German and English. We saw it in English, experienced it in English, and it was about an hour long with a small group, and no photography was allowed, which I was completely fine with. Plus, it just keeps everyone in the moment and helps encourage people to interact with the tour guide. Although there was one woman who was a few times sneakily taking some pictures. If you're interested in seeing this, it was 9 euros per person. I really enjoyed it. And the second time that we went to Ludwigsburg was for their pumpkin festival, which happened, it was at the very end of October and the beginning of November. We saw it in the beginning of November, and it was just kind of a nice substitute for me having missed Halloween back in the States. The festival took place and was held in the palace gardens, which were actually pretty large, but only part of it. And unfortunately, I was only, me and my husband and I were only able to experience this for about 2 hours before my cough was just like, nah, time to go. Although I will say I was sucking on coffee drops like they were candy the entire time. I tried. I did my best. Even so, for the 2 hours that we were there, I super enjoyed it. The entire thing was very charming, and I'm not sure if this is held every year, but if they do hold one again, I highly encourage anyone to go see it. Yeah, it was just really nice. And I will now let you just enjoy the visuals, and I will save some more stories until afterwards. I guess technically the second place that my husband and I were able to explore was a charming little town called Rothenburg ob der Taube for one day. Although that entire experience is going to be in my next video, and also my last video to just wrap up this entire Paris/Germany 2018 trip. So look forward to that. Although before I sign off, just a few more things. I can't wait to go back to not only see Germany, but to visit my in-laws again. They're wonderful people, and my husband, technically it's his cousin, but they're more like brothers, so they're just really close. And hi, if you're watching, we miss you. And I want to note that during our train ride back to France, because we flew out from France to go back home, both the train ride and the flight home, thankfully, my horrendous cough was at a minimum, because nothing is worse than being that person on public transportation just coughing up a storm. Although I will say that I did wear a mask the entire time and drank plenty of water. And frankly, if you're ever sick and you have to be around other humans, wear a mask. It's just polite and sanitary. And a final tip is, if you can, my husband and I have gotten into the habit of staying either in a hotel that's within the airport that we are going to fly out of, or a hotel that is very close to the airport, just so we are not late to the airport. This is not critical by any means, but it takes a lot of stress out of the entire equation. Yeah, that is all I have for you today. As I said, my next video will be on Rothenburg ob der Taube, so look forward to that. In the meantime, you can click right here to watch my past sick self giving a tour of a hotel that my husband and I stayed at while we were in France. Only people who have watched this video to this point will be able to watch this bonus material. So huzzah, and frankly, just thank you. Yeah, I hope you all are having a wonderful day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!